Hey everyone, my name is James and welcome back to ChippyGaming. So I'm here today to talk all about Terraria launching on the Nintendo Switch. And what I really want to do with today's video is I want to try and help you make an educated purchase whether you're going to buy this game or not. Because I know for a lot of you, this is probably the third, fourth, fifth time you've bought Terraria. And you might want to know what's different, if it's a good port, if it's worth your money essentially. And before I continue, I do feel like it's worth noting now, when it comes to me and console Terraria, I don't really care too much about it because I learned how to play on the PC version of Terraria 8 years ago. I've got thousands of hours on the PC version, so whenever I pick up the console version for a video, I play it for like an hour, I put it down. It's not really my thing. I like playing Terraria with a keyboard and mouse because when a controller's in my hand, it just doesn't work for me. Like, it doesn't feel right. Now, knowing that, I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch edition because it's kind of bridged that gap for me, the gap between console Terraria and PC Terraria. And all of that is due to the touchscreen on the Nintendo Switch. So for every hurdle I've ever had holding a controller, there's a touchscreen alternative. So for example, if I don't like moving stuff around in my inventory, I can just now use my finger and drag it. Like, I've been doing that on my phone for the longest time and it feels right. And it's right here. Like, if you want to zoom in, you just zoom in, you just pinch and zoom. It's intuitive. And I really like that aspect of it. And I feel like if you were to say, oh, what's the big selling point for this version? I would say it's the touchscreen controls. You've also got that aspect of, hey, I can carry Terraria around with me now. And yeah, we've been able to carry Terraria around with us for a while. We've had mobile Terraria, but that once again is not something I enjoy because I kind of like having physical buttons. I like that. You know, I like that feeling, the tactile feeling of I'm pressing something, I'm doing something. So let's talk about specifics. Terraria is running here at like 720p, I want to say, when it's in handheld 1080p on a TV. Solid 60 FPS. It literally runs as smooth as it does on PC. And it's looking great. Like, I played it in multiplayer today with Pedguin for a couple of hours. Pedguin is also somebody that doesn't care about the console version. And we had a lot of fun. Like I said multiple times during it, this is probably the best port they've ever done. He agreed, so you kind of get that second opinion there. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Oh! Oh!
It's the last time I trust Chip there.
Oh, no. The gameplay you're seeing right now is just me, like, walking around the jungle. Maybe I'm killing the king slime. This is all stuff from earlier. Because I really just wanted to get this out there to just talk about the good stuff. And the good stuff really is, it looks great, runs great. The multiplayer, smooth, like really, really smooth. The touchscreens are great. But now we need to talk about the negatives, because if you're going to do something like this, you've got to talk about the cons, right? So for a lot of you, this will be your multiple purchase of Terraria. And the price here is a little steep. It's currently sitting at $30, £25. And 60 Australian dollars, which is quite a lot for a copy of Terraria. I want to talk about this real quick because I want to give you the explanation for why I think it's this price, but that's never going to justify it as to whether you should buy it or not. I just kind of want to give the reasoning out there. Essentially, when you launch a game on Nintendo Switch, if you launch a physical version, you know, a cartridge that you put in the shops, and a digital version, you have to make them the exact same price. That's Nintendo's guidelines. So for this, they were like, we want to put a physical version of Terraria out into the world, and because of that, the price is a lot higher because you have to pay for that cartridge, and they're not cheap. Now, most physical games that launch for the Nintendo Switch start at £25, and they go upwards of £60. So Terraria is on the low end of that spectrum. But this really does kind of dampen the digital version because if you're just wanting that, it's a lot of money for Terraria. And I feel like ultimately you've got to decide whether that's right for you and whether you want to hold off maybe and get a physical version so you feel like you're getting a little bit more value for money because it's a very cheap game. And I will say this, Relogic completely ripped themselves off. This is not a £5 game. It's not a £10 game. It's not a £15 game. Terraria is a £30 game. They've sold it cheap for the longest time. So it's like, you can't really make the argument of like, well, it's worth more so you should pay more because it's just the way it is. Like, Relogic wanted to do a physical version. They've had to put the price up. And yeah, they do get the benefits of that additional revenue. But, you know, it's kind of hurting things as well. So that will ultimately be up to you. But from my perspective as a PC Terraria player, I think it's a really good version of the game. For me, this is really the best of both worlds. It's a portable version of Terraria that has buttons, and I really like that. And it's that bridge, like I said, between console and PC Terraria. And I feel like this is going to be great for me to keep in that console ecosystem. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really am. I feel like it's just all working well for me. Now, I have seen a few people report crashes. It seems to be that large worlds are causing the issue. Now, I'm pretty sure they're going to patch this out as soon as they possibly can. It'll probably take a little while to submit that to Nintendo themselves. So I'm sure that'll get fixed. So if you're having that issue, maybe try and make a small or medium world. That might be the case. But let me know what your opinions are down below. So try and help people out. What are your thoughts on playing so far if you've purchased this edition? But that's going to do it for today's video. Just a quick one. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there just to help you, you know, if you want to buy it or whatever. Thank you all for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.